Yo people, welcome back. Now, apologies for this late release, the lack of editing, the lack of content this week, but work and life has just been long. And since they dropped 2 episodes this week, it just takes longer to do. Work has just been chaotic, everything like that. But anyways, these 2 episodes really upped the stakes and changed the tone of the season once again. There was a lot of tension across the episodes. There were a lot of good things that were highlighted as we start reaching that last stretch of the season. We can start with Omega finally getting shut down and ignored. If you've been watching my other reviews, you know that this is always a negative that I always call out. This time, she tried to suggest something and she tried to get her way as usual and Crosshair shut her down. It was something small, but for me, at least it just won't be on the negatives for the episode. I think the Crosshair fight with that soldier was pretty good. For a second, I thought Crosshair might not make it, but yeah, once everything started playing out, you could kind of figure it out. They've set up a lot of hype for that other character as well, since he was basically a one-man army. Now, I thought to myself, could it be Tech? Could the Empire have done something to him after they recovered his body? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. I personally want Tech to still be dead, otherwise his sacrifice gets wasted, and that is coming from someone who liked Tech's character a lot. Let's move on to another standout, which was Rex, and it's always good to see him as he's a direct link to the Clone Wars. You instantly think of that show, the history, everything he's gone through, Anakin, Ahsoka, all of that stuff, and he's been getting to work, as it seems, since the last time that we saw him in Season 2. He's built a lot of links amongst the surviving clones, and it kind of reminds me of like the rebellion before the rebellion. He was already bringing in the teamwork, using his leadership, his connections to help and motivate people to join his fight. We see this especially at the end of the episode when he faces off against Wolf. He tries to convince him to stop working for the Empire, but he wasn't successful this time. But I have a feeling that this will change later on in the season. As we know, all of this will ultimately lead to a clones versus stormtrooper fight by the end, which will be pretty cool to see, and unfortunately there will be more casualties. In general, another thing that I liked was how they keep speaking about Tantis and they're gathering more and more clues. In previous episodes they hardly mentioned it or they were sidetracked, but now they're really mentioning it, talking about it. It really shows how close we are to the end. The clone they captured really made the show have more tension as well. He added a bit of an untrustworthy element that deflected onto Crosshair, who was one of the most important characters in these 2 episodes. He still has to deal with the fact that he isn't 100% trusted by everyone. As much as they say that they do trust him, it just doesn't feel that way. From a writing point of view, they're trying to get you to like Crosshair even more, or just to like him in general if you didn't like him as a character, because in the end he will perish and the writers will have played with your emotions. They've gone from making you like him to making you hate him. Now you may be warming up to him or you may like him, but ultimately he will just get eliminated. By the way, he looked really useless out there. I don't know if this was just me, but all his shots were missing because of obviously the experiments. He's going through the whole hand thing, shaky hands, it's just not him. And his one forte is now a liability. He was also losing in the fist fight, so I think all of this is something he's aware of, and he'll probably sacrifice himself because he knows he doesn't really have anything else to offer. If he just sacrifices himself, he can redeem himself, his image. And Crosshair is usually a character that is self-aware. He does seem like a self-aware guy. Someone who weighs up all the options. Even if he does choose poorly at times, he does think about other ways of doing something. And then when he does, he fully commits to it. But yeah, overall, the heroes managed to get away. Everything will get tightened up. As I mentioned a couple of reviews ago, they'll escape one more time, just like they did, and then things will get tightened up. Bounty hunters, more clones, more everything. They will be under severe pressure, especially since we saw that that one clone that they captured had Omega as like a bounty almost. So everyone is on lock to catch her. It will happen eventually. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Now, I can only really remember one standout negative across the 2 episodes, and it's to do with that mystery soldier. Now, I kind of find it annoying that one soldier can just cause the Bad Batch, Rex and all the other soldiers that many issues, and that he can get so close to them without being detected. And I don't know, it was kind of cheap. It just felt like they're really overpowering him, so surely it must mean there's something else to it, which I'll get to in a second. But we're talking about the Bad Batch. These guys literally go to the Empire, they take out a bunch of troopers, they get the mission done most of the times without any struggles. So those same people are now getting invaded by one person. I don't know, it seems a bit inconsistent. At least tighten up at the defense or something, I don't know. Which now brings me to my next point. now that they've put this much emphasis, because we know that the trooper survived at the end, he fell down the waterfall but he survived. This guy really has to have either a mystery reveal, aka Tech or someone else from the past, or he's going to be a menace throughout the rest of the season. And if that's the case, he cannot have a cheap death. Otherwise, there's no point. He has to have something about him. There's no reason why they've just kept him alive for no reason. But yeah, as for me, I'm going to be more consistent. I know I was only gone for 5 days, but that's still a long time for this channel anyways. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. We are on the road to 600 subs. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.